Alright, top 10 reasons people are bad at Sekiro, starring someone who just graduated with her master's degree in that very subject, my wife, Babe 2. She did give the game a respectable 7 hours of gameplay before resigning from it with grace.
All the samurais can go and himself.
Whoa! Her playthrough has inspired me to come up with why so many players call it quits, walking away pissed off and wondering why people that they do call friend would ever recommend that they play this game. So let me know if your reasons make the list. Let's run it. Number 10, skipping exploration. Starting with the least impactful reason, a lot of players just don't know where to go, and so they just Google where the next boss is and how to get to him. Then they skedaddle their way past all the enemies, all the loot, go straight to the boss, get their ass handed to them, and then post on Reddit how much the game sucks. Exploring the world of Sekiro allows you to find various sugas to aid with stealth and damage. You also find key items that you take back to your maiden, and she says, "Oh my god, give me your seed," and you do, and you get more heals. And yes, Sekiro is a weird game, and not just because enemies take shit out of your ass and then put it in their ass and moan pleasurably. That's unrelated. No, the game is weird because you don't level up the way you do in other games. You have to kill enemies to get skill points that give you more options in combat. So explore the world and you shall not be disappointed. Number 9, prosthetic tools. This one is weird because on one hand, certain players just refuse to use the tools available to them, like the umbrella, flame vent, shurikens, all amazing at getting the job done. My wife was about to throw the controller at my head when fighting the ogre until we directed her to where the flame vent was, and then... One more hit. So use your tools, but use them at the right time and the right way. Later on, she was getting frustrated by over-relying on those tools, trying to bypass learning the core game mechanics. Sekiro doesn't really have like game-breaking weapons, abilities, armors that you can grab early on. Prosthetic tools, items, those are very helpful, but they're not going to create some OP build that puts the game on easy mode. Number 8, they neglect stealth. Sekiro is odd because everyone's always like, "Oh, it's so hard, you gotta get good, bro." And then you can just do this to half the enemies. Enemy health in Sekiro is irrelevant as long as you can break their posture and secure a death blow. But before detecting you, enemies and bosses have 0 posture and can be immediately killed or have one of their health bars removed. Certain challenging segments of the game, mini bosses, a bunch of stuff can really be pretty trivialized or at least made a whole lot easier by doing this. And these aren't some obscure cheese, by the way. It's in the game. It's working the way it should. In Sekiro, you don't roleplay as a honorable samurai. No. You scuttle around as a spindly little bastard. Look at you go. Like Wendy behind a Motel 6 looking for who wants to get death blown next. If times is tough, there is no shame in using the tools available to you, including stealth. Number 7, one at a time. Remember in other FromSoft games, once you get high enough level, it's almost satisfying to get surrounded and then click one button and bam, you get hyper armor and a massive AoE attack that just destroys everyone around you. Sekiro is not that game. Combat is built for one-on-one duels, but it's up to you to properly set spacing and choose your engagements to create fair one-on-one duels. Nothing in the game is faster than the player, so you can easily disengage and re-engage at will. A lot of players assume Wolf's speed is so they can quickly jump into a fight, but often it's actually best to quickly get out of one. Number 6, no pattern recognition. What if I told you that your precisely timed sword fighting game was actually Donkey Konga? all gaming is, was, or shall become Donkey Konga. Amen. Sekiro is a big, dark, brooding game set in war-torn Japan. But in reality, it's just recognizing patterns. Each boss and enemy has a rhythm to their attacks, like a set of instructions for deflecting, which is always the same. AI is capable of creating monstrosities like this, but it's not capable of creating new movesets every time you fight a boss. It's a pattern. Now, AI is capable of more than it says it does, because after it created this monstrosity, I then asked it, great, now make it sexy. And it started generating an image, and it got to about here, and then it stopped. I think we came this close to a big-titted Sekiro Donkey Kong. I really am a genius shackled by society. But anyway, you can stand your ground against almost every boss and enemy in this game by just well-timing essentially 4 buttons, learn the pattern, and they all go down easy as pie. Number 5, Mikiri Counter is your new god. You know that silly little optional skill that you can choose at the beginning of the game? It's like the best fucking thing in the entire game. The fact that they put the most goated counter as an optional thing to choose from is as if they made like one of the keepsake things in Elden Ring the option to have like Ashes of War at all. It's crazy. Mikiri counters allow you to stomp a stab attack into the dirt, doing an insane amount of posture damage. And if you watch my frame data videos, and you should, then you know Mikiri counters actually have a larger hit detector than the damage hit detector, giving you actually a little bit more grace in nailing those Mikiri counters. They're super easy to do. Basically, bosses are going crazy mode. You can hardly keep up. But then you see that stab incoming alert, and it's over, baby! It feels good, it looks good. Get good at Mikiri counters. Oh, and also learn Japanese so that you know to read when it's a sweep and not a thrust. Number 4, they don't use deflect. Sekiro combat is similar to a toxic argument with your wife. You could simply evade and stay out of the house, but that doesn't address the fact that you did not take out the trash. You could also block and say that you did take out the trash, but that won't hold up for long because the house smells like a landfill. Instead, deflect and say that you didn't take out the trash because you were trying to teach the kids to do it. And to bring it all home, follow up with a counterattack and gaslight her by saying, babe, you're the one that said you wanted me to be more involved with the kids. This technique will destroy your marriage, but it will also destroy every boss and enemy in Sekiro. Many new players don't realize how much of Sekiro is just committing yourself to learning the core mechanic of deflect. This isn't an optional, parry-based build in Dark Souls. This is the game. Number 3, hesitation is defeat. Sekiro is all about aggression. The more damage you do to a boss's health pool, the slower their posture recovers and the faster it will break. A skilled player knows their timings to deflect, but also knows their timings to attack. Juggling the two back and forth is what makes one player's boss fight a 5-minute gauntlet of sweat and tears and another player's 30-second speedrun. Enemies in Sekiro are vulnerable to an attack after whiffing one of their attacks, finishing a combo, after a deflection, or while receiving devastating family news. Wait. She's in what hospital? No! Hesitation is defeat, so be aggressive. Number 2, it's not a Souls-like game. Everything we've mentioned builds up to this fact. Since 2009, FromSoft has made games where if you've played one, you can slip into the other ones with relative ease. They have the same focus on evading, the same level up process. Weapon upgrades require certain smithing stones and items. When you die, you leave the money you've accrued where you died. I could go on and on with all the similarities of these other games. Sekiro has none of these similarities. I think this is the main reason so many players get frustrated with this game. They see the lock-on system. They see your health up here, boss health over here, healing items over here. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it must be a duck. Sure, if Sekiro is a duck, it's a duck high as shit on death blow because it does not behave like any other game that FromSoft has made. Using the same strategy or even approaching Sekiro with the same mindset as other games will end in failure. In an interview with Dead Entertainment after the game's release, game director Miyazaki said this: "It's no secret that this game plays differently. This approach was deliberately used to capture a more ninja-like flow to battles with more sustained combat than dipping in and out strategically." Fundamentally, from the ground up, the second biggest mistake you can make is playing Sekiro like it's a Soulslike. And now for the number one reason people are bad at Sekiro: players forget that they are the boss. Every time you load up the game, it is the exact same. Same code, same combo, same bosses and enemies. Placed inside that code is a guaranteed path for the player to reach the victory screen. You are not in a boxing match with a living opponent capable of adjusting their strategy on the fly. You are the only variable that changes the game outcome. Getting in your own way can look like a lot of things. Good old getting tilted, or letting self-doubt creep in. The hardest part about Sekiro is that you can understand the game in and out, but it's all about the execution. In my opinion, it's the most get good from software game they've ever made. But at the end of the day, video games are made to be fun. Remember, some people just don't enjoy pushing a boulder up a hill in their spare time, and that is totally understandable and completely fine.
I don't think there's gonna be a Sekiro from Babe 2.
That's okay. And that's it, you beautiful babes. Check out the channel for more content. I promise you will not be bored. Subscribe to see more. Consider supporting the channel more directly on Patreon, YouTube memberships, Twitch subs. You get access to videos early that way. But as always, thanks for watching.